I want to just share some words that come right from the mouths of the people who are leading this great reset, and explain to you why this is so important that you take seriously. If someone threatens your life, if there's a neighbor that says, I'm going to kill you and your family, and they're nuts. I mean, they'd have to be, but they're nuts. Do you do anything to take precautions just in case that nutty neighbor means it? Or do you just dismiss it?
Want to take precautions.
Right. Okay, what would you do? Maybe call the police, lodge a complaint, see if you can get a restraining order. Maybe, if you really start to believe it.
If it escalates a lot,
You'd tell your family, don't go over to the neighbor's yard. Don't talk to them, right?
Yeah, stay away.
Correct. You'd be a fool not to.
Right.
Okay. When somebody is threatening your very way of life, your business, your money, your education, your children's right to choose where they're going to work, when they're going to fundamentally transform your life, and you, in their own words, you will own nothing in 2030, should you take them seriously? I would. Wait a minute. You're saying I'm not going to own the property that I already own? Could you explain more of that to me? And how do I just give up my property? Am I selling it to somebody? What happens to the property I do have? Wait, hold it just a second. The only car company that will be making a combustion engine by 2030 is maybe Bugatti. Ferrari, everything else will be electric. All cars will be electric by 2030. They won't be building the combustion engine. All cars. Now, that may be great, but can we just have a discussion on, where are we plugging these in? And how are you generating the power? Because you're getting rid of fossil fuels. How are you generating enough power to power all these cars? Can we at least talk about that? You have to take people at their word. If they say they're going to do something, you're a fool not to take them at their word. This is Schwab, Klaus Schwab, who runs the World Economic Forum. To achieve a better outcome, he's talking about COVID is easing. It's easing now, but anxiety about the world's social and economic prospects is only intensifying. Why is it intensifying right now? Why are our fears of the future intensifying? Because inflation. One, do you know what you're going to be making next year and if it will be able to make ends meet? If inflation continues to go up, which it will, do you have confidence? Or are your anxiety up a little bit? Okay, it's up. Why? Why is this happening? Well, if you understand the Great Reset, you know what's happening and why inflation is going up. If you look at your gas pump and you're like, how can I afford to pump gas? Your anxiety goes up. Sure. Why is it going up? Because of the people that believe in the Great Reset are trying to get rid of fossil fuels, and so they're making it impossible to find new fossil fuels and to make and refine those fossil fuels here in America. So they are causing that anxiety. So the people who are causing your anxiety are the ones saying, it's going up. So we're going to be in a position here very soon to offer a solution. Now, first question, why would you give in to the solution that is presented by the people who caused the problem? Well, because you'll be in a position to where you won't know what the problem was, and you'll be at your end of your rope, and they're offering a solution, and I don't know, it sounds okay, do that. That's why. That's why you have to know about the Great Reset now, and you have to tell your friends about it. He says, so anxiety is going up, and to achieve a better outcome, the world must act jointly and swiftly to revamp all aspects of our societies and our economies, from education to social contracts and working conditions. Listen carefully. Every industry, from oil and gas to tech, must be transformed. In short, it's a great reset of capitalism. Okay, so we're going to change all aspects of our societies and our economies, from education to social contracts. What could possibly go wrong with that? And you notice he did say, you must transform. From Greenpeace, another leader in the ESG world, we set up a new world order after World War II. We're now in a different world than we were in then, and we need to ask, what should we be doing differently? The World Economic Forum has a big responsibility in that as well, to be pushing the Great Reset and to look how we can create well-being for people of all the earth. We need to design a better world based on solidarity and sharing. Solidarity and sharing, and deciding how you protect people, both within nations and globally. It's crucial. We need to design policies that align with investment and people and the environment. But above all, the longer-term perspective is about rebalancing economies. What does that mean, rebalancing? That is a global shift of wealth. There are poor countries and rich countries. We need to get the rich countries to give money to the poor countries. And if you think the poor people are actually going to get our money, and it's not going to just go to enrich the organizations and the people that are the elites, you're fooling yourself. They're doing these things through fear because they are afraid. Hear me out on this. I got to do a chalkboard on this, but let me just run it by you and see if it makes sense to you without a chalkboard. Tech, I'm going to play some audio for you next hour. YouTube said, just have the government. We will enforce the laws. Just tell us what's illegal speech and what's not. That's an amazing statement. Why would they do that? Government. Do you think the government fears you? I think it does. And I think it does because, A, they know what's really going on. They know what's happening in the financial market. They know what the world looks like for America in the future. And they know they've kind of caused a lot of it. And people don't like to be poor and hungry and have their country taken from them. So they're living in fear. That's why they're cracking down. That's why they're calling moms and dads terrorists. They've got to crack down. Finance. Do you think the banks are afraid? Well, I think the banks and the Fed, they're so cushy. I don't know if they actually are afraid, but at the lower levels, they should be very afraid because we're on to them. And when our money is gone and they are the ones who got bailed out again and again and again, and they're fine, and they're telling us what loans we can and cannot have, they are living in fear as well. Big business, media. Don't think those guys living in fear of just losing what they have alone. So if everybody's living in fear, doesn't it make sense that they would maybe work together and say, look, we're all in this boat together? Because the people are going to be angry. And they're going to throw us out of office. They'll stop using our products. They're already not watching our TV shows. Tech knows with AI what's coming with unemployment, and they'll be blamed for it. You don't think tech, look how popular they are now. Can you imagine when there's 40% unemployment caused by AI and big tech? They all have reasons to say, we're all in this together. Let's redesign the world. We'll protect each other. We'll make sure that our lifeboat makes it to shore. But we just have to confuse all of the people, the rest of the people that are on the Titanic. We just have to confuse them enough so we get our lifeboat down in the water. That's what's happening. So now what do we do about it? There are a couple of things. One, you must know what the Great Reset is and how it works. It is the Rosetta Stone for everything that is going on. Two, you have to call your state legislators and get them to sign and to develop a bill. I'm hoping that Idaho will have the best one. Kansas has a pretty good one. New Hampshire is working with a lot of different states on their bill. This is spreading because of you. These legislators, these politicians have no idea what's going on. And the biggest pushback is these are free markets. It's not from the Democrats. It's from the Republicans. The Republicans are like, these are free markets. We don't have a right to say what free markets can do. This is not a free market. This is designed to stop the free market. This is designed to destroy capitalism. You're not protecting capitalism. By not moving, you are actually helping destroy it. And the only answer we have is at the local and state level. The states can say to the banks, you can do any metric you want as long as it's related to a person's financial situation, their financial well-being. You can't use social credit scores to decide who you're giving a loan to. That stops. Some of the states are going a step further, and they're going after and saying, we're pulling all of our pension funds out of BlackRock. That's billions of dollars. If your state doesn't do it, California and New York are big pension holders. It's just like the curriculum. If California and New York decide what the curriculum is for their states, most likely the rest of the country is going to get it because they control it. We have to be in this fight now. Educate yourself. Educate your friends. Call your lawmakers locally. Tell your state reps and your state senators you've got to work on an anti-ESG bill, and know that you're probably going to have to educate them because most people don't know what it is. You're way ahead of the curve. You are critical